Obviously a good camp last month, 4 points for 2 tricky away games. It was... Listen, the squad's always difficult to pick because you've always got ideas about other players that are doing reasonably well that you might want to integrate into the squad, but no, this one was relatively straightforward.
Looking at goalkeepers, Craig Gordon's back in, Zander Clark drops out. What's the thinking there, given both haven't played real? Craig Gordon has played this season, but obviously Zander's not played in the last few weeks.
Similar to last time when I spoke about the goalkeepers, none of the frontline goalkeepers for me really starting for their clubs. I've spoken to the people I need to speak to about Craig. They're telling me that he's fully fit, he's back in training. He'll take part in a behind closed doors game today, I believe. So he's fit, he's the most experienced in terms of caps that I've got, so it just felt like the right thing to bring him back to the squad.
You said ahead of the September campaign that it wasn't too much of an issue, the fact that your goalkeepers and the squad in general weren't playing in terms of minutes, but it might change as the season goes on. Is that an issue for you still at the minute, some of the players not playing, or do you feel it's still early enough?
I think with the goalkeepers it's probably still a bit of an issue, but not, I mean, it's less than 3 weeks since the last camp, so not such a big issue in the September, October, November camps. I think the issue comes between November and March, and obviously in that November to March there is a transfer window and you never know what's going to happen. So in terms of the rest of the squad, I think most of them will start to get minutes at their clubs, which is good for us and obviously good for them.
How close was Lauren Shanklin getting in the squad, given Hearts, the way they're playing, practice scoring goals?
Yeah, always close. I know Lawrence very well. I know what he can bring to the squad. I just felt that the forward players I had in the last camp did well in the camp, did well in the games, and they've done well for their clubs in between, so I didn't see too much reason to change.
Kieran Tierney was one of a couple of players who pulled out injured after being called up to the last squad. Have you had discussions with people at Celtic to just see where his situation is at the moment?
No, I tend not to contact clubs. I watch the minutes that the players are getting. Obviously Kieran's been fit, played minutes, managed a full game against Partick Thistle in the League Cup, which is good, so no issues.
Feeling quite confident just given that he's had that 90 minutes. I think Brendan Rodgers said that'll be big for him psychologically. Do you feel that could be a big boost?
No, I think for Kieran, obviously he's on a recovery process, if you like, from having suffered from a lot of long-term injuries. He's working his way back. He was part of the last squad but had to pull out with an injury that he'd picked up in the Old Firm game before the last camp. He's fit now and he's back in the squad.
Oli Burke seems to be going along all right in the Bundesliga. I know you won't base selection off the basis of one game that he scored a hat-trick, but is he a guy that you've had in mind recently?
I think about all these players, people seem to think that because I tend to pick the same players more often than not, people think that I don't look outside, I don't look at other options. I'm always looking at other options because you never know when you're going to get injuries, suspensions, and when you're going to have to call people into your squad. So yeah, I got a lot of text messages when Oli got that hat-trick, and it was good to see because obviously he's a big talent. He was in some of my earlier squads. He sort of drifted a little bit over the last 5 years, but if he can find a home and settle down and play well week in, week out, then that'll be good for Oli.